Okay, today we're going to make a very simple, easy to make, and very inexpensive split pea soup. I have here I have a pretty big ham bone. As you can see, there's still a fair amount of ham on there. This was part of our leftovers from Thanksgiving. We did a turkey and a ham this year, so it was really too much food. But I don't want to waste this ham bone, and this channel is all about making. It's all about living cheap, about making things that are really inexpensive, fixing things in your houses, talking about your finances. And today we're gonna make a very inexpensive, cheap, but delicious meal called split pea soup. So here I have my big ham bone. I have my split peas, which have been soaking overnight. I'm gonna wash these in a second. These are yellow split peas. You can get green ones if you want. I'm using these because I found these in my pantry. I think we bought them like, I don't know, 6 months or a year ago. They're just sitting there. So I'm just gonna use these. I have some carrots I'm gonna add to the soup. I have some carrots. And I'm gonna add some onions as well. So first we're gonna just wash these. Then when I'm finished washing these, we'll saute the onions in the bottom of the pan, and then we'll add all our ingredients. We'll add some water, and then I'm just gonna add some nice sea salt or kosher salt. I like sea salt or kosher salt, some black pepper, and some garlic powder. A very simple, very delicious, very inexpensive meal. Wash the peas. Wash them very well because I don't know. This is like a pound of peas, and it's like $1.50 for a pack. So who knows what's inside these things? I just use a colander, and I just wash them very well. Look for any nasty debris or whatever inside there. Again, I soaked these overnight, so I just soaked them in water overnight, just like you would beans. Same thing. You can do a quick soak. I prefer to do an overnight soak for beans or for split peas. Good. All right, guys. I'm gonna turn this on. I'm using a big pot. This pot's probably a bit too big, but I only have this, and I only have like a small pot like this. So you can use something a little bit smaller in this, but you want something that's big enough where you don't want stuff just coming out and splashing around and whatnot. So this is like a big soup pot. It works great. It's just a little big, but it's better to have a bigger pot than have a pot that's too small. So what I'll do first is I will just kind of saute some onions. So I'll just add a little bit of oil to the pot. Just gonna saute these for a couple of minutes. And you can add more onions if you like. My wife doesn't like onions so much, so I'm not adding too much for this particular soup. Okay, so I've sauteed the onions. Let's add some water. Let's add this giant ham bone. Oh yeah, look at that. Put the whole thing in there. I'm gonna add some more water as well. Let's add all the chickpeas. I'm sorry, not chickpeas. These are split peas. Again, you can see why I'm using a big pot here, right? Because this ham bone is gigantic. And rest of those carrots. And what I'll do is I will add some more water to this. We want to cover up to about the top of the ham, just like that. This adds more water to it. Just want to say like that's good. You have a little bit of the ham sticking out, that's fine. And I'm just gonna add some garlic powder. You don't have to use garlic powder. You can use, there's all kinds of recipes. Just go to Google, look up split pea soup recipes. There's all kinds of variations. You don't have to follow this recipe. It's just nice and simple and cheap. Some black pepper. Of course, the most important ingredient is salt. I use salt and a lot of salt in everything. And I always use kosher or sea salt. Okay, so I put a fair amount of salt in there. Just maybe give it a quick little mix like that, and there you go. Now what I'll do is I will let this come to I'll cover it, I'll let it come to a boil. Let it boil for a few minutes and then lower it down, cover it, cook it slowly for about 2 hours. After that, turn the heat off, cover it, and you want the split peas to get kind of creamy. So this will have kind of a yellow texture to it, but let's let this go to a boil and cover it. Okay, so I brought the soup to a boil. You can see that the ham is kind of sticking out of the water a little bit. That's just how you want it. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna lower the heat. We'll lower it and we'll cover it. And pretty much just kind of let it simmer now for about another hour and a half, another hour and 45 minutes. Total cooking time is about 2 hours, maybe two and a half hours if you want to just let it cook slowly. And we'll come back in a couple hours and see how it comes out. And you can see it's about 3 hours later now. I turned this off about a half hour ago. The soup is ready, it's delicious, it's good to go. Here you have a nice inexpensive meal. If you like this, check out our other videos on the Penny Pincher, hit that subscribe button, and like our videos, and hopefully see you again.